to obtain the discovery as of yet.
All right, thank you. Mr. Watson, on behalf of Mr. Wilson.
Well, Your Honor, it's my office that's responsible for arranging the assignments of cases to the lawyers on the conflict roster. Mr. Woolley accepted this case. I believe he did accept it on the 9th, but I certainly recognize that even Mr. Crino, as of yesterday when I was speaking with him, had not yet received the appearance of Mr. Woolley in this case, or in Mr. Woolley's case. I have broached the subject with Mr. Wilson prior to this in my initial consultation of the prospect of an adjournment for the purposes related to the volume of discovery in this case. If Your Honor finds that there's good cause, Your Honor would have my agreement on this. I believe my client would waive his right to conduct the examination within 21 days. He's not giving up his right to conduct the examination, but just to have that inside of the 21-day period. Every accused has the right to a prepared attorney.
Thank you. And that September 14th date at 1 o'clock works for both yourself and Mr. Woolley?
It does.
Mr. Woolley, that date works for you?
It does, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Woolley, may I inquire of your client, Mr. Stoutmiles, of his waiver of the 21-day rule?
As it relates to that, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Stoutmiles, you understand that you have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your date of arraignment. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that a preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the people would have to prove by probable cause evidence that a crime has been committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime. You, of course, are represented by Attorney Lionel Woolley, and he would be present at that probable cause hearing to contest any charges or cross-examine any witnesses brought by the people against you at that stage. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
If you waive your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days today, you will not be waiving your right to a preliminary examination in full. You'll only be waiving your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days, and that is so that your counsel can get all the discovery and can zealously advocate for your defense. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is it your intent today to waive your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Crino, you've indicated for the record that the people also waived their right to a prelim within 21 days.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So I find the preliminary examination, the waiver of the 21-day rule to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. And then we'll go on with the date that's been set. But Mr. Watson, may I inquire of Mr. Wilson of his waiver of the 21-day rule?
Please do.
All right. So, Mr. Wilson, you understand you have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of the date of arraignment. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And a preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the people would have to prove by probable cause evidence that a crime has been committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And you are represented by public defender, the main public defender, Keith Watson, in the matter, and he would be present to cross-examine any witnesses or contest any charges brought against you concerning this file. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you waive your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days, you will not be waiving your right to a preliminary examination in general, only to have your right, you'll only waive that right to have it within that 21-day period so that Mr. Watson can also get full discovery and can zealously advocate in your defense. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Is it your intention today and your wish to waive your right to a preliminary examination only within that 21-day period?
Yes.
Okay, I find the waiver of the preliminary examination to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made within the 21-day period. And we have got a preliminary date set for September 14th at 1 o'clock. Does that work for your schedule, Mr. Woolley?
It does, Your Honor.
And Mr. Watson?
Yes, it does.
All right. So we'll reset this for preliminary examination on September 14th at 1 o'clock. And we'll take it off the docket for the prelim for next week and reset it to September 14th at 1. Anything else for the record in either case, docket 2302380 or 2302381, Mr. Crino?
Your Honor, on either case, nothing more for the people. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Woolley, in regards to 230-2380.
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson, anything on 230-2381?
Well, thank you.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record. We'll see everybody on September 14th at 1 o'clock. Mr. Stoutmiles and Mr. Wilson, you're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. Thank you for your appearance.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Carino.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Woolley. Well, that's it for the excitement, huh?
Sir?
So, Mr. Fleming, you're here for Mr. Lawler today, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Have a good one.
You as well. Take care, guys.
So we're on the record. Let's call your first one on the record in 230-1739. That's the Ingham County Treasurer versus Brent Fleck. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record? Mr. Fleming.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Fleming on behalf of the Ingham County Treasurer. Your Honor, as I understand, Mr. Fleck will not be appearing today, nor do I believe he's in the courtroom. Recently, we discovered that the foreclosure has been reversed, so we will be dismissing this one.
Okay.
And
All right. All right. So for the record, this was set on for hearing on August 11th. On August 2nd, the plaintiff had failed to appear. We set it for a second hearing date in this matter. And it's my understanding, Mr. Fleming, that you're going to move to dismiss this case. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Right. And you'll be following up with an order to that effect, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. So the order is to follow. The plaintiff moves to dismiss. Anything else on 230-1739, Mr. Fleming?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And then we're on the record in docket 230-1742. That's also Ingham County Treasurer versus Ralph Wilson. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record? Mr. Fleming.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Fleming on behalf of the Ingham County Treasurer.
All right, this is the time set for a second hearing date. We previously made on August 2nd. It appeared the plaintiff failed to appear. We had service by attachment. We've set it for second hearing on this date. And once again, it appears that the plaintiff has failed to appear. This was scheduled for 10 o'clock. It's now 10:34. Mr. Fleming, I'm assuming that for the fail to appear, you're on behalf of the Ingham County Treasurer, you'd be looking for a default judgment. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct.
All right. I do not see Mr. Wilson in the Zoom courtroom or the physical courtroom. He has a failed to appear on August 2nd. So I will grant the default judgment for fail to appear. And Mr. Fleming, you'll submit an order to follow in regards to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask if you wanted to note the deadline dates for vacating the property or filing an appeal, or whether we should leave that blank when we submit that.
Go ahead. I think go ahead and leave that blank, because it'll be 10 days from my date of signature. And so if I sign it Monday, or if I sign it this afternoon, it'd be a different date than 10 day. So I might, if you put it in, I might change it and initial it anyway, but it'll be 10 days from my date of signature, which could be this afternoon or it could be Monday.
Right.
Thank you. So order to follow in that regard. To the best of your knowledge, Mr. Fleming, Mr. Wilson is not incapacitated, incarcerated, or a minor, and the property was kept for its intended premise. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I'll await the order to follow on the fail to appear default judgment. Anything else for the record? 2301742, Mr. Fleming.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Oh, and then Mr. Stoutmiles and Mr. Wilson, you're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. Thank you for your appearance today. You're all set, okay?
How do we leave? Do I press the button?
They should come and get you once you notify them that we're done. All right, and so we're on the record in docket 2301743, Ingham County Treasurer versus James Tall and Charles Tall. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record? Mr. Fleming.
James Fleming on behalf of the Ingham County Treasurer.
All right, this is the time set for a second hearing. The first hearing was held on August 2nd. The plaintiff failed to appear for that landlord-tenant pretrial. We did have service by attachment, so we set it for second hearing on today's date.